Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mohammad Ubaid and this is another video of basics of structural analysis series. And today we will discuss a very important topic in structural analysis, that is static indeterminacy. We will discuss types of static indeterminacy and we will also discuss a formula for finding static indeterminacy. If you want to understand all this topic from the very basics, please watch this video till the end. If you have any confusion, please comment down in the comment box and I will try to answer all your confusion as well as possible. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the latest update and latest video. So let's get started with our video.
So today our topic is static indeterminacy. Now when we say that a structure is statically indeterminate, what does it mean? It means that the forces or the unknowns, reactions or the unknown things in a structure cannot be solved by using the equations from static equilibrium alone. Okay, now what are the equations which we get from static equilibrium? For a, let's just write down so that we can just review our basic. For 2D structure we have sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0 and sigma mxy is equal to 0. And for a 3D structure we have sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0, sigma fz is equal to 0, and we also have sigma mxy is equal to 0, sigma myz is equal to 0, sigma mzx is equal to 0. So for a 3D structure we have 6 equations of equilibrium available, and for a 2D structure we have 3 equations of equilibrium available. Now if in any structure the number of unknowns are more than number of equilibrium equations, then the structure will be called as statically indeterminate. Okay, these structures are also called as hyperstatic structures. Okay, hyperstatic structures. Hyperstatic structure. Now we will just start our these structures are called hyperstatic structure. Now what are the types of static indeterminacy? Okay, so we will just look at this. So in a structure, what are the main components of a structure? Okay, if we just look at a structure like this, if this is a let's say this is the truss, okay, and here it is pin support and here it is a roller support. Now a structure will have members like this and a structure will have support. So structure have members, structure have support. Now likewise we have two types of static indeterminacy. So the static indeterminacy is denoted by ds, degree of static indeterminacy, which will be equal to dsi plus dse. Now what is dsi? dsi we can write it internal indeterminacy. We can just write it directly, internal indeterminacy. Okay, and what is dse? As you can see from here, dse is equal to external indeterminacy. Okay, now how do we define dsi, how do we define dse? We will just see in a second. So we will just write a very general formula from which we can find out ds directly, and then we will find dse and dsi from that formula. Okay, so this is the that dsi is equal to ds is equal to dsi plus dse. Now we will just write down the formula. We will just write down the formula to find out the degree of static indeterminacy. So the formula is equal to ds is equal to am plus r minus bj plus gamma. So this is the very general formula. This formula can be used for truss, this formula can be used for beam, this formula can be used for rigid frames. Okay, frames also. Okay, now we will just understand what is a, m, r, b, j and gamma. Now ds we know that this is degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, and what is a is equal to number of actions available. Now what is number of actions? Okay, for general case, so if we see a member like this is our beam, so how many actions this beam can have? Okay, so in this beam can have shear force, this beam can have axial force, okay, and this beam can have bending moment. So for a 2D beam, okay, for a 2D beam, how many actions are there? There are 3 actions. Now if we talk about this is 2D beam, okay, this is the case of beam, this is a beam. Now if we talk about 3D beam, so in 3D we will have 2 shear force, 2 SF, and axial force will be 1, and there will be bending moment. And how many bending moment will be there? There will be 3 bending moment. Okay, because the member can rotate in 3 directions. Okay, the member can rotate in 3 direction, x, y and z is perpendicular to this plane. So the member can have 3 types of rotation. So there will be 3 bending moment. And what are the 2 types of shear force? The shear force, if we just assume that this is our x axis and this is our y axis, so one shear force will be in SF y and SF z. Okay, so this there will be 2 shear force. Now in 3D, how many actions are there in a beam? There are, in 3D there are 6 actions. Okay, now this is for beam. If we talk about truss, so how many actions will be there? Okay, the truss element can only have axial force. Okay, so if this is a truss, it can only have axial force. So a truss element will have only 1 in 2D and as well as in 3D. Now this is for A. What is M? So M is the number of members in our structure. Okay, and what is R? R is the reaction available. Okay, and what is B? So B is number of equilibrium equations. And what is J? J is number of joints. And what is gamma? Gamma is number of. Now what is releases? Okay, we know that what is number of joints, we know number of equilibrium equations, we know A, we know M. Now what is number of releases? Gamma. So to understand what is gamma, we will just take an example of a rigid frame which is like this. This is rigid, this is fixed support, there is also it is fixed, and this is a rigid joint. Now how many moments will be there? There will be M1, there will be M2, and for the equilibrium of this joint there will be M3. And what will be the equation? M3 will be equal to M1 plus M2. Now if we just apply a hinge here, okay, if we just put a hinge at this joint, so what will happen? This hinge will make M1, this will make M1 0 and M2 will also be 0. Okay, so from this equation we can say that M3 will also be 0. So a hinge provides two number of releases, okay, for at this joint. Okay, now we can write general equations for the releases from a hinge. Okay, so for internal hinge, gamma will be equal to number of member minus 1. Okay, this is for 2D case. So we know what is release, and we will discuss more types of releases which we provide in structure. Right now we just talk about the hinge, internal hinge. Okay, so this is the general equations, and we should know from where these equations come. Okay, so we will just see from where these equations come, but before that we know that ds is equal to dsi plus dse. And what is dse? Dse, we have said that dse related to the external support. Okay, so dse will be equal to r minus 3 for 2D structure and r minus 6 for 3D structure. What is r? R is the, as we have seen, r is the number of external independent reactions, okay, which we get from support. Okay, so for a 2D structure, how many equilibrium equations we have? We have 3 equilibrium equations, and for 3D structure we have 6 equilibrium equations. If this r is equal to 3, then the dse will be 0 for 2D. What does it mean? It means that if ds is equal to 0, the structure is externally determinate, and if dse is more than 0, then the structure is externally indeterminate. If the dse is negative, then the structure is externally unstable. Okay, structure is unstable. So we will just write down this is for external indeterminacy. Okay, so we will just write down very simple thing, which is for ds, and if ds is equal to determinate we should write full statically determinate structure. If ds is less than 0, unstable. If ds is positive, it means that the state of our structure is statically indeterminate. Okay, so this is it. Now we will just talk about from where the formula comes. Okay, we will just take a very simple example. Now we will derive the general formula. For general formula which we have written, what was the general formula? ds is equal to am plus r minus bj plus gamma. This was the general formula. Now we will derive this formula for truss. Okay, for 2D truss. Now we have seen that in truss axial force there will be one action which is axial force, so a will be 1 and we multiply it, and what will be r? R we will know from our structure, and what will be the b? For 2D truss, b will be equal to 2. Okay, because we will only have sigma fx and sigma fy 0. Okay, there will be no moment, so we will have two equations of equilibrium at each joint. Okay, in that truss, that's why we are multiplying 2 by j. Okay, so what will be it? It will be 2j, and we are assuming that the releases are 0. Okay, so this is it. So the formula comes out to be m plus r minus 2j. Now we will derive this formula for a truss so that we can understand how this formula comes. We'll just write the formula very simply. So ds is equal to m plus r minus 2j. This was our formula. Now we will just take an example of a simplest form of a truss. So the simplest form of a truss can be a triangle, and it has 3 joints and 3 members. Now if we have j joints, okay, if we have j number of joints and we want to make a truss with having number of joint j. Now internal indeterminacy in truss means that that there should be minimum number in the structure by which the geometry of the structure can be retained. Okay, the number of member should not be more. If the number of member is more, then the structure will become stiff, and if the number is low, then the structure will become unstable. Okay, so the number should be such that the structure should preserve its geometry. Okay, now how do you find that number for 2D truss? Okay, this is an example of 2D truss. Let's suppose we have j joints and we want to make a truss with these joints. So what will be the number of member which we require? If we see at this picture, so we have 3 members already and we have 3 joints. Now if you want to add one more joint in this structure, how many members will we need? We will need 2 members for each joint. Okay, so but we have used 3 joints initially, so how many joints we have? We have j minus 3 joints. Okay, and how many members we need for each joints? We need 2 members. So this will come out to be 2j minus 6. Okay, it will boil down to be 2j minus 3. So this is the minimum number which a truss in 2D should have to preserve its geometry. Now if we have more member from this value, then it will become our static indeterminate truss. So we can write down like this, which will be 2j minus 3. So this is the formula of static internal indeterminacy of a truss in 2D. And in 3D, what will be the formula? This is for 2D, and in 3D m will remain same, but there will be 3j minus 6. Okay, you can drive it similarly for a 3D case. Now this is for 3D. Now this is our static internal indeterminacy. Now from how this formula comes, we know that degree of external indeterminacy is equal to r minus 3 for 2D. So if we add up this DSE and DSI, if we add up this, we will just write it here. Now if we just add up these two equations, DSE and DSI, oh sorry, this is for 3D, we will just use 2D. Okay, so ds will be equal to DSI plus DSE, and what is the value of DSI? M minus 3j, m minus 2j minus 3, and what is the value of DSE for 2D? R minus 3. So it will come out to be m minus 2j plus 3 plus r minus 3. R minus 3 and plus 3 will be cancelled out, so it will become m plus r minus 2j. Okay, which is similar to the equation which we have derived by using the general formula. Okay, so this is it, how this equations comes. So this is it for this video, and we will meet in next video. So thanks for watching.